what I told Keith the other day, I thought I ought to come around sometime and give everybody kind of the way things started and how it ended up as far as the fire department goes. I could start on the radio system and the way we're dispatched. When I first joined the fire department, like 71 or 72, it was an old building here. And if you wonder where the building went, it was a metal building. When we got the grant for this building, we swapped it for a deed for the property. But if you go where Ike Maxwell lives up on Romines Mill Road, the first metal building closest to his house is our old fire department. And there was a couple other buildings out here that they tore down. But anyway, the way you guys get calls now is a lot different when I was in there, because when I was in the process of retiring, that's when they switched from low band to high band, I guess you could say. And on the old low band, it was terrible. You could talk, but nobody in Clarksburg could hear you. So you could get away with saying about anything you wanted to on the radio. And I have. Yeah. But anyway, when it started out, the fire department was here. There's a row of houses over here across the road. And we had a phone in the fire department. And there was a phone on the porch of Charlie Loeb's house across the street. It was on the porch. So when somebody called the fire department, it rang over there and rang at the fire department too. And, you know, we thought we was great. And then as the years passed on, and then I became chief by accident, by proxy, I think. But anyway, there's one of the older guys told me, this was like in the 70s, late 70s. He said, we got a CB radio up in the attic of that building that every time the siren blows, that they short-circuited the wires on the mic for it, and it comes on and makes a noise across channel 7 on CB radio. So back in them days, 70s, 80s, a lot of people had CB radios in their car because that was the going thing. That was before cell phones. And from there we progressed to having a phone in Chamberlain's old gas station before they tore it down. And then we had another one up at the old chief's house up toward Mount Clair there. But then we still had low band, and it was terrible. Everybody had the minuters. We had the first ones they put out. They worked. They would go off, but you still couldn't talk too well on the truck radios. We'd have 100-watt radios in the trucks, and it just depended on where you was, whether you heard or not. And then things kind of advanced along a little bit. I don't want to get out of my sync here. And then they applied for a grant. I forget the year on that, but I happened to be on the 911 board when they did that. I had a lot to help. I helped a lot on that. And the one thing I wanted to make sure of, if they got a grant, that we wanted a radio tower out here. And they put one up here. We got one right out there. I don't know how many of you know that. But the minutors didn't work on the high band. And I guess I don't understand it too much, but there's like 8 channels or 10 channels that they can bounce up and down on. Is that true?
Something like that for the digital side.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something like 8 or 10 different talk group sets they can get.
Yeah. So getting the monitor on that was terrible. You couldn't do it. So they were still using low band for a long time. I don't know if they still use it or not.
4614 shut down. 159, 195 still up.
Okay. And now I guess they can put alerts on your cell phone every time. Mm-hmm. Is that an individual alert, or is that just an alert for everybody? I mean, what I mean is, they just can't page one person out on that. That's just, they have the whole department?
It's
Okay.
all tone based, yep.
Okay. So that works. That works pretty good. But it just, I just show you the differences when we started. We had a building where you had to cram vehicles in. Sometimes you had to pull one truck out to get the other one out.
Oh, yeah.
And there people was continuously banging doors. Yeah. And when we started out, we was using rubber gloves, the old orange rubber gloves. Canvas coats. All that's on the wayside now. I guess they're flame retardant jackets now, flame retardant gloves. I know we used to pester Walter because the name, or it's on your coat, he was the first one to melt that off. If you look at your coats, how they had that little name on there, the company that made it, he was the first one to melt that off. Yeah, because he was in there too hot and somewhere probably where he shouldn't have been, But there's a lot of guys here that was here when I was here, and there's a lot of you that I don't know. Things change over the years, but I just want to give you a little talk, just kind of let you know how things have progressed. And we was dispatched by the sheriff's department in the old days, and well, if they wasn't chasing a criminal or had somebody stopped along the road, they'd talk to you. But things has really progressed up through the years. They started out, they had a little room over Bridgeport Fire Department, then they went there on Bridgeport Hill for dispatch center, and then they moved out to, out there going out of Clarksburg on Route 19.
Prairie Mines.
What's that?
Prairie Mines.
Prairie Mines. Then they moved from there to I call it Nutter Ford, I guess it is, in that building there. Then now they got their own place out on across there in Bridgeport. So things has really changed a lot. And you guys out there that work out there now, you're probably not bugged by cops coming in there and bugging you too much.
Yeah, we don't really have any contact with the outside world anymore.
Yeah, because I know they used to be in there bugging the night shift guys have been there bugging the dispatchers all the time, wanting to do the work for them. But anyway, has anybody got any questions on anything? I don't know if I can even talk on one of these radios now. They're a little different. They were just getting them when I retired.
You gotta watch them go to Disney.
And you're not going to know that it does.
Make sure it's got battery. Maybe sometime those retired firefighters can fight a fire. You in?
Huh?
Are you in for fighting a fire?
No. I'm too old for that.
Were you with us when we went over to burn that old house down over next to Walter Smith? And we put stuff inside to catch it on fire? And we tried and tried. The house wouldn't catch on fire. Me and Rhonda were in the house. And the wind changed. And Flash came out the front door. You remember? He had that radio on.
Yeah.
He came in.
What about this house out here in the alley, Blaylock's?
Yeah.
Underneath all them trees?
I wasn't on that one.
Yeah, on pine trees.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was there.
The trees was over the house.
Yeah.
I actually remember that one catching fire well before I got involved in this, but I was at a summer school program over at the elementary school. Matter of fact, I was in Hilda's room there on the first floor. I looked out and there was fire shooting 40, 50, 60 feet in the air.
And I was here when we had the big floods.
Yeah, this
Dave
building,
Chamberlain took a rowboat from down the bank and went down here and got that Mr. Gore that was down here in this. They lived in the house by the feed store.
there used to be somewhere marks on the wall. I think it's probably gone now. But when that 1980 flood was, it was 8.5 cinder blocks high in this building.
And the year before it was a block and a half.
Yeah, and it's probably now, if you pull some of the covers off of the
Be mud.
off of the light, off of the plugs, you probably find mud there. Yeah, and a lot of them been replaced since then. But
The mayor doesn't want to hear that.
it's true.
There's marks up there in the depot on how high the water was.
I think there used to be one in the front of the bank there too. On the bank, one of them poles somewhere up there.
The dairy
Or
bar.
the bank itself. Yeah, the bank itself, yeah, the bank all in.
But I can remember 8.5 cinder blocks in here, because you could see the line when you come in here.
That's probably the same flood?
Yeah,
Same,
Yeah,
It
it
didn't
shows,
take long for it to get there.
yeah, it shows inside
I
the
thought it was
depot.
floating towards the wall, I parked inside, my car was floating towards the wall, the building was only
Couple years old.
3 or 4 years old, 3 years old. And our new pumper was sitting over there.
Yeah.
We took everything else out and the brand new truck sit out there and got water in it.
I heard the
One
stories
that
about
gas up there
Edsel.
now.
Yeah, I heard stories about Edsel taking the tanker instead of taking the engine.
I was out of
Floating up the
town.
road.
Did you run out?
I was at my brother's in Charleston.
So, you know, when a lot of the history is asked about this place, the only reason I know stuff is because of him. And again, being around here forever, unfortunately. But, you know, Mark started way back when, Ronald Norville, been around for a long time. And some of us have been here forever, it seems like now, but somebody's might pick a porch up for a long run because my knees are shot.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you remember the corner. I used to be a store in the bottom, big apartments on top. They used to have, there was a dentist up there at one time. But I always did say that, you know, I really wanted to be here when that place burnt. I was out of town working that time.
You didn't miss nothing.
And if anybody ever goes to Nutter Fort Fire Department, they got a big picture of it. And I've always laid off to try to get a copy of that, but I've lost my connections over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nobody's stealing
Huh? They got a picture of their ladder truck up in the air with one of our trucks beside it. You can see the name on it real good with the smoke in the background.
We got somewhere, I think it's on Facebook, it's like around one point, I had a hold of it, to make sure that the old 31 or the old 32 at that fire.
One on the corner.
On the corner.
Yeah.
And I
Nutter
don't know,
Fort's got a big picture of it on the wall. Okay, that's all I got. I could tell stories all night, but I don't know if you want to listen or not.
All right, thank you.
Where do you want to start? We'll start off with the statistics like we do every year. As soon as Keith gets figured out which piece of paper he needs to have in his hand.
so, when it comes to looking at numbers and statistics, there's things that stick out. And with Mark coming and talking and things changing, trends and things like that that we get out of those numbers, kind of help us to change. And for a long time, a number for us that stuck out was 300. If we broke 300 calls, big year. And as far as going back through, I have stuff on the computer from 1998 through last year, 2025. But in 1998, we ran 226 calls. And out of that time span, that's the lowest number that I have record of. Mark may remember a time that we ran less than that, but the last time that we were below 300 was in 2020. We ran 271 calls, and I believe a lot of that was attributed to COVID. But for the last several years, since 2020, we've ran over 300 calls. But the significance of that, the first year we broke 300 was 2003. And in looking at that, I broke it down, and I have in order the years and the numbers from 300 up. At 12 in 2010, we ran 303 calls. 11 in 2017 was 305. The first year for 300, which was 309 calls, is in 10th is the 2003 year. 2021, we ran 312, 2016, 314, 2019, 316, 2012, 317. Breaking into our top 5 for calls, in 2024, we ran 318 calls. 2023 was 331. Our third highest year, 2022, was 367. Our second highest, at 369, was in 2011. And for those that want them up here, there will be, you can come look through the calls for those years. Some of our top years to see the breakdowns, but last year we set a record. We ran 382 alarms. Now, out of that 382, we had 30 structure fires. 13 of them working fires. We ran 8 in our first due, none of them were within the city limits. And the other 21 were mutuated somewhere else. We ran 101 car wrecks. We ran 129 medical calls. And of our car wrecks, 41 of them had injuries, 8 of them we had to extricate patients. We ran 18 alarm investigations, most of them were residential, 11, 7 commercial. We ran 11 car fires, 7 brush fires. We transferred to another station one time. We ran 24 lines down, 33 trees down, no flooding calls. 10 gas leaks. Out of all those calls, in total, we had 19 working fires, for a total of 32 working fires for the whole year. We ran 268 calls inside of our first due, which is about 70% of our calls. 101 of those were inside the city limits, and the other 167 outside. And then the other 114 were mutual aid to assist other departments. With that being said, we can be dispatched to 382 calls every year. But if it wasn't for the guys you see sitting out here, those trucks wouldn't go out the door on those calls. So, as we start off, out of the list on this roster, we had 21 individuals answer calls last year. Whether 1 call, 3 calls, over 100, every one matters. Don't worry, that's in Bridgeport, we're safe. Thank you. If it's that big, we're in trouble. And I probably will get blamed. Yeah, a couple times. So, starting at number 21, I will do this one just a little bit different. But in February of last year, Firefighter Randy Wilcox answered his last call for the Lost Creek Fire Department. 1 call in 2025. After that, answering a call, 1 call, James Linger, Joey Kenny. At 3 calls was Tyler Smith, Brandon Ullman. At 8, Hunter Saunders. 15, Wilbur Knight. 17, Jeff Basil. 18, Nick Brown. 21, Tally Saple. 24 calls, Ryan Zickerfoos. as I call out names from this point forward, please come up and join Walter and I. As this is our top 10 for 2025. Number 10 at 38 calls, Ashton Linger. Number 9 with 39 calls, Nathan Zickovich. Number 8 with 43 calls, Justin Norman. And number 7 with 88, Orville Lake. Number 6 with 92 is Mike Sands. Number 5 at 136, Keith Linger. Now, is the next two that I call, while it's 4 and 3, they're technically tied for third. With 141 calls, Timmy Riffle and William Linger. And number 2, with 176 calls, which is 46.07% of our calls, Bill McNeamer. And at number 1, with 193 calls, which is 50.52% of the calls we ran, is Darren Hudson. I think 1 month unemployed. So,
Oh, I thought you were
candy. All right. Oh, what are you doing a minute? Hold on, I'll get out of the way picture.
You need to get in there too.
I'm
on there.
Gotta give me a minute.
Stand in the chair, Dave.
Zoom out a little bit.
Take your foot in here.
Just take the picture.
The last one I had was an iPhone 7, all right?
Thank you very much. How was my hair?
It's great.
I was worried.
Hold on, Mark. Go ahead.
Can I tell you a story about his dad?
Which one?
Let's have it.
Well, we used to have fire schools. I don't know if they still have it or not, but
Some places.
they was always looking for something to burn down. Well, about 2 or 3 houses up from where you live, Keith, up on the bank, there was an old house there they wanted us to burn down, so we got a permit, did it all, they were gonna had a toilet out back. We got that house burning and the toilet was on fire, and his dad got in there and sat down with the air packs on, and just sat in there for a little bit. We opened the door and there he was. I had a picture of that something. It was on fire too.
That's great.
Ask him, he'll probably deny it.
Oh, he was, yeah.
I'm not presenting that.
Well, that's to do it.
So, again, whether one call, the 176, it takes every one of us showing up. Walter and I can't thank you guys enough for showing up and handling the bulk of these calls. Day in, day out, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Be anything for something on fire, moving a piano out there.
Lifting assistance.
Give these guys a round of applause. Go ahead.
Same speech I've given in years past, Keith just touched on it. None of this happens without everybody being involved, everybody pulling their weight, doing something. And I know it's not a statistic he keeps track of, but I'm fairly certain that we still cover the majority of our calls. There's very few that we scratch on or don't make it out the doors. I'm not saying we're perfect, I'm not saying we make every one of them, but we still cover the majority of our calls and then some. And I'm grateful for that nobody can complain about us not getting out the doors or having somebody else go, oh shit, Oscar's got a call, we might as well head out. So I appreciate that, and that makes us look good across the county. Okay, no, we're not 700, 800 calls a year, but our 380 we're still covering. So I appreciate that.
Just roughly, like you said, it's not a statistic I keep track of, but I do put in all the reports. And this year, the federal government, God love them, they decided we needed a new reporting system. And I'm not completely pulling my hair out yet, but I've thought about it. We transitioned from NIFRS to NARS, and with that, with putting in all the reports, tracking everything through CAD, we cover somewhere between 95 and 97% of our calls. And there's a lot of times, there's a lot of calls we get dispatched or assigned to, and they get cleared before we ever actually get alerted. But those go into those numbers because the guy right there, the blue shirt, pushes a button and puts a sign to us, and then I got paperwork to do. So, with that, we've got a couple other awards to give out. There's more to what we do than just when the pager goes off, and one of these days we'll get the siren completely functional, I promise. When it goes off, if I get down there and hit the button, there's more to it than that. There's training, there's things going on behind the scenes, the trucks, maintenance, the building gate maintenance. One of our projects this year that we worked on was getting the siren to open off the roof and the new one on the roof. We were fortunate we had people who were assisted by those record service in that project. But there's guys that show up and take care of things. You call them if you need something. Doesn't matter what it is. And we've got 2 individuals we'd like to recognize for outstanding effort for 2025. William Linger and Timmy Riffle.
Speech.
You better run faster. So, like I said, there's things that go on down here. Guys are in and out, whether the fire whistle's blowing or not. But we look at things, we look at how things go. We're right up in the back. We're almost done, and you can screw off. But when we look at things and try to look at what goes on throughout the year, try to pay attention. We try to remember. Walter and I sit down at some point in time in January, and maybe right at the end of January.
The week before this happens, yeah.
You know, it just depends. But we sit down and try to think about all the things that have been on, different projects, things like that, where somebody whether we have a call that somebody goes above and beyond on, or maybe it's something to do with the department in the background. But we try to select a firefighter of the year. And this year, this individual has stepped into
A lot of shit.
a lot of shit, yeah. He stepped up, took in a leadership role, has made sure some things were done here and there. Because Laura and I do work 24-hour shifts, sometimes we're not around. But this guy has taken care of a few little things here and there along the way last year. Our firefighter of the year for 2025 is Mike Sands. You have to.
What? Didn't make anybody else do it. Firefighter of the year, big boy.
Yeah, appreciate everybody that shows up with us. It's not always good timing, not always what we want to be doing, but I appreciate everybody. So, thanks.
Like I said, if y'all want to look at some of the breakdowns of those years, they're going to be laying up here. There's still plenty of food. If you're still hungry, there's down to go boxes. Thanks to KJ. But enjoy yourselves. Take some time to talk. Again, we appreciate everything each one of you does. Thank the mayor and the town. They always are a support to us when we need something or ask for something.
And not that we've ever had a horrible existence with the town, but I will say, you know, some mayors have been easier to deal with than others. If I have a problem, all I gotta do is go to Joni, Dave takes care of it. But we've been very fortunate with in my tenure with Chief anyway, and I think even when Bill was there before me, that I don't think we've had hardly any issues with the town that weren't easy to fix and smooth over. I know even back in the day with Mark and everything, I think we still had a reasonable relationship with the town back in those days, even that when we needed help with something, they did what they could. In the same respect, when the town needed help with something, you know, we stepped up and did what we could also, like we're supposed to. So, from all of us to the town, because there's mayor, at least 2 council people here right now, we appreciate the help you guys give us. We know. Hey, we're wrong. They haven't taken your name off yet, so I guess that's 3 of you, right? So, well, Joni, I always forget she's there. She's just attached to Dave. So.
Can I say how much as a town we appreciate you guys?
No.
Like in October, I was one of the medical calls, and Keith and Darren responded, and I'm very grateful for you guys.
We do.
I just want to say a quick word as mayor. When we do go to meetings and different things in the mayor's meeting, and something's brought up about the fire departments, we always give you guys kudos for what you do. You're a smaller department. You do a great job. I would put you up against any department around the county. I mean, you know, every time, like I said, fire departments are brought up, we talk about how good of a job you guys do, how much you get out. You know, there's never any issues, and all the townspeople should appreciate you. If they don't, shame on them, because you guys do a great job. And like I told Mark when I first became mayor, and he taught me a valuable lesson about the line of flight here, you know, who to call first, second, third. And which I remember to this day, because about the first day I was mayor, we had a flood, and I panicked.
I called Brandon of all people.
Yeah, I panicked. Well, I always heard about the other floods, and I was like, oh my God, here we go again. But anyway, you guys do a great job. Be proud of yourselves. Never, be proud that you're part of the Lost Creek Fire Department, because we're proud of you.
Thank you.
So that's all I got to say. Thank you, guys.
We train about the best.
In my entire time here, and I'm sure if I look around the room, Mark or even Greg, when he was on the department back in years ago, Ron and Orville back there, we've always been a small department, but it's always been a family, more or less. You look back there on that picture from what guys that was 96 or whatever, the handful of us that were there, the handful of us that are always here. On paper, we got a lot more people, we know that, but you see who shows up, you see who's sitting here, and I'm sure it was no different 100 years ago than it is now. We know who we can count on, we know who's gonna show up, we know what they can do, and yeah, we're very fortunate that we've been able to maintain that standard. Whether anybody believes it or not, we do, so.
I might be half dressed, but I'll get there.
You're gonna have all your clothes, it's just a matter of where they're at. We could always tell Orville on the fire scene because one pant leg was hiked up over the boot and suspenders were hanging out from underneath his coat. Never felt helmet was cocked sideways. You knew that was Orville. You didn't have to worry about who it was. You could pick him out in the crowd.
Yeah, can't do a thing with him.
Or you'd come back and you'd find one of his shoes in the hose bed because he was getting dressed on the jump seat, tossed them off the truck, and one made it and one didn't. Again, thank you, not just from me, but from everybody else. Appreciate you guys to the ends of the world. For the love of God, please take some food. So we aren't feeding the raccoons and stuff out here in the dumpster tonight, so. I know they are, wasn't it? You take it home and feed them at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Heard menagerie of raccoons over there. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Good, bad, or indifferent, we don't care, we're not listening, right?
I'd like to thank Mark and Karen for showing up. I was awful kind enough to do so.
They've been invited every year, just a matter of whether it fits into their travel plans.
Thank you for coming.
It's the wrong time of year to be camping right now,
Oh, I'm ready.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Thank you.